again here as we get ready for this matchup between Eastmont and Davis. We had a chance to talk with head coach Rick Clark of the Davis Pirates beforehand, but unfortunately not able to bring you the video. But Rick, actually a graduate of East Wenatchee High School back in the 70s, and he said that when he was going to school here, it was actually down where it used to be the junior high. It's across the street from City Hall. This particular area where the football field is now that we're getting ready for the game and the broadcast tonight was a cherry and apple orchard back in the day. That's going back a few years, Cody.
Just a few, yeah. Yeah.
The Pirates come in, as we mentioned, with a record of 1-6 on the season, 0-4 in Big Nine play, and the Eastmont Wildcats certainly have had the injury problems this year. And Cody, you had a chance to talk to both coaches about injuries and both teams coming in using bodies they probably didn't expect to be using this time of the year.
Yeah, Eastmont coming in with 4 or 5 players out. A couple two-way starters that won't be taking the field today, Jake Ulrich and Noel Woodward. And, of course, 2 weeks ago, we saw Christian Thorne, their starting running back, go down. And he's going to be on the sideline, too, and maybe for the rest of the season. So they have they're going to start 3 sophomores this afternoon.
Wow, that kind of begats the troubles for Eastmont in talking with, as we've seen with the interview with Michael Don, in reference to the fact that they've had the challenges with, just a little mental error here and there, a little physical error here and there, and not being able to recover from those errors. That has been a big reason why the Cats are 0-7 coming in, hoping to change things here tonight in front of a partial sellout, shall we say, at Eastmont High School for this matchup here this evening. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the Eastmont Wildcats on offense. Starting up front, the right tackle is Chase Payne, a 6'2", 275-pound senior. The right guard is Rain Browning, a 6'4", 270-pound senior. The center, Brent Womack, a 5'10", 200-pound junior. The left guard, Braden Johnson, a 6'3", 300-pound junior. And the left tackle, Clayton Harris, a 5'11", 225-pound junior. The wideouts for the Cats, Devin Schneider leading the way in receiving yards, with coming in with 314 receiving yards on the season. He's a 6', 180-pound junior. The slot back on that side is Cameron Scaramuzino, a 5'10", 170-pound junior. On the other side, Brandon Wilson, a 6', 160-pound senior. Dalton Harper, a 6', 200-pound junior. The quarterback is Nathan Schwickendorf, a 5'10", 185-pound senior. And Jack Knighton will get the start at tailback tonight. As Cody mentioned, the problems at tailback with the injuries. Quentin Porterfield did a pretty good job filling in, but Jack Knighton, a sophomore, will get the start tonight, a 5'6", 150-pound sophomore. All right, we have the ball teed up here, and we're ready for football as Eastmont will kick it away. And the right-footed kick is a short kick. It looked like they tried to onside it. It was loose for a moment. Let's see who got it. Eastmont say that they do, and the officials agree. It will be Eastmont football.
Not a bad way to start the ball game.
Looked like Victor Welton was the one who came up with the ball on that onside kick. And you want to try to start things off to get your first victory of the season? How about you do that?
Yeah, and I'm not really surprised. Davis does a pretty good job of trying to control the clock, and probably a good gamble on this first kickoff.
So Eastmont with the football, they'll have it at Davis's 48-yard line. The game we did a couple of weeks ago, the game seemed to be played on Eastmont's end of the field all night long. So Eastmont will start things off here as we're underway, just 2 seconds into the contest. And Eastmont with the football. Schwickendorf couldn't have an easy time holding on to it. Actually, back there receiving the snap directly from center was Cole Warren, a 6'1", 150-pound quarterback, getting the start. And he'll be taken down for a loss on the tough handle on the snap. A loss of 7 yards on the first play from scrimmage for Eastmont.
Looks like they'll lose about 5 yards on that fumbled snap.
So no Schwickendorf here for the Wildcats. Instead, it is Cole Warren, the sophomore quarterback, getting the start. So Warren will be in there. He'll have 2 backs behind him in the backfield. So Eastmont shaking things up a little bit here on 2nd down and 17 to start this ball game. A turn and a handoff. No, he's going to keep it himself, Will Warren, and he'll try to get around the right side, but not able to get to maybe the line of scrimmage is it, as Davis comes quickly on the defense. Let's talk about the Davis starters up front. Sam Grover is the nose guard, a 5'10", 325-pound senior. He's a big haul in the middle. Raul Franco is the left tackle at 5'9", 197 pounds. He's a senior. Also a right defensive end, Ivory Evans Kimball. The linebackers are Jorge Martinez, Raven Bolin, Christian Reyes, Reyes and Jonathan Villanueva. The corners are Tyree Walker. You also see Corey Alt in there. Gismaro Mendoza is the other corner. The safeties, Christopher Huizer and Isaac Pastrana. So 3rd and long here for the Wildcats. Again, getting the start at quarterback. Cole Warren will take the snap from center, but first, before he can, the flags come and a delay again going to be called against the sophomore and Eastmont. So after the onside kick, Cody, things just going backwards for the Cats here.
Yeah, you don't like to see that, especially when they get an opportunity to take advantage of surprising Davis at the start of this ball game. And actually kind of surprising that we've got a new quarterback in. It wasn't mentioned to me earlier.
Yeah, when I talked to him in practice earlier this week, he said, no problem, no changes there. A swing pass here in the flat, and that will go for nothing as Davis is all over that one. As getting in on the stop was Christopher Huizar, as well as a host of other Pirates. Sam Grover in there on the tackle as well on a short pass play that went to Cameron Scaramazino. And not much happening for Eastmont on their first possession of the ball game, so they'll line up to punt it away. And we'll see who's doing the punting duties today. It does look like it is Manny Lopez, who had his challenges here a couple of weeks ago. So 4th down from the Eastmont 38. And they will send Pastrana back to receive the punt. Good spiraling kick going over Pastrana's head. Going to take an Eastmont bounce and come to a rest just outside the 10-yard line. So that is a 20, 30, 42-yard punt. And, Cody, if you want to start things off well on the special teams, that's a good way to do it.
I give them an A+ on special teams so far. We'll see how their defense comes in as Davis is going to start way back in their own territory.
So it'll be Davis football, and offensively for the Pirates up front, their center is John Ramirez. The guards are Sam Grover and Oswaldo Zotello. The tackles, Mason Dominguez and Giovanni Contreras. Ivory Evans Kimball is the tight end. The quarterback is Angel Amazola. He's got 9 interceptions on the season, and he'll have it 1st down and 10 from the Davis 11-yard line with 10:41 to go here in the first quarter of play. A turn and handoff. And that is Protheson and Vaughn Protheson, who is the leading ground gainer for Davis on the season, held to a short gain there. Maybe a yard or two is all. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll put him down at the 12, so just a gain of a yard for Vaughn Protheson, who comes into the ballgame with 639 yards rushing. That's 3rd best in the Big 9. Davis, of course, coming off that overtime loss to Wenatchee last Friday night, the game you saw live right here on the NCW Live channel. Amazola hands it to Protheson, trying to get around the left side, but a good job by Eastmont in pursuit. And Devin Schneider there to lead the tackling attack for the Cats and holds him to just maybe a yard gain. Is all going to be 3rd and long coming up for the Davis Pirates.
Could be a tough day for Davis on the ground. They do like to run the ball, but Eastmont is a very physical group up front, and that's kind of Eastmont's defensive bread and butter, is trying to stop that run.
Eastmont's defense, number 6 in the Big 9, allowing 1,335 yards rushing on the season so far, 392 yards on the average per game allowed by the Eastmont defense. So Amazola back to pass, rolling to his right here, looking out in the flat, now getting pressure, now going to be taken down for a loss. The ball slung from his hands and goes out of bounds. And they'll spot it where the ball goes out of bounds just across the 10-yard line. Great job by Eastmont on the pursuit. And the dump in the backfield by Tristan Martinez getting the start at linebacker. So a loss of 4 yards on the play back to the 10 will bring up 4th down and 10 yards to go. And so Eastmont says checkmate. They'll hold on defense and get a punting situation here for the Pirates. Jesus Alvarez, standing about 2 yards deep in his own end zone, will look to receive the pass from center here. Protheson is the long snapper. And Schneider back to return the punt for Eastmont. A wobbly kick off the side of his foot goes sailing out of bounds. That's going to be great field position for Eastmont. We'll watch the official here on the near sideline as he'll walk up in front of the Eastmont bench, line it up with the head referee behind the line of scrimmage, and that will be stopped at the 27-yard line. So great field position again for Eastmont. We'll see if they can take advantage.
Almost the complete reverse of what we saw 2 weeks ago when Eastmont was starting deep in their own end every single time, it seemed like.
17-yard punt is all. And so from the 27, Eastmont will have it first down and 10. And 9-10 to go here in a scoreless first quarter of play. And now we've got Schwickendorf in at quarterback. And Nathan turns, rolls to his right, throws deep. We got a receiver with a catch, falling down at the 1-yard line, but a flag is down as well. We'll check the flag. Coming up with the football down there was Scarmazzino, slipping down the ball, hitting right in the chest, and somehow he's able to hold on to it.
You know, I think this play may count too, Eric. I think this could be defensive pass interference.
We'll look for the officials. By the way, we should tell you that Dennis Brandstetter is our head referee. He will make the signal here, and a hold against the defense. That'll be declined, and it will be Eastmont football at the 1-yard line. The umpire is Steve DeVilbus. The linesman is Jeff Graham. The judge is Stefan Fromm, and the back judge is Ben Harris. So you wonder maybe a little bit of a disciplinary thing for Schwickendorf not to get the start here tonight.
It kind of seems that way, doesn't it? Just out for that first series, which is unfortunate since they got that onside kick.
Absolutely. He'll have eye-backs behind him in the backfield as he goes from that pistol formation. Schwickendorf gets a snap, turns, and fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, looking for the end zone, dives, he's in! Touchdown, Eastmont.
Again, he is holding on to that ball, and, it just draws the defense in, and it's almost – the play's nearly over by the time you realize he's still got the ball, and he's running around your defensive end.
And he had a Davis Pirate right at his feet that had bit on the fake and almost dropped down to a knee right there to pull that ball back and then bounce around the right side, and a 1-yard touchdown run for Schwickendorf. So after the short punt, the Wildcats take advantage now. Jake Van Asch will try the extra point. Instead, Schneider's going to take it himself, looking for help on the fire, but nobody on the end zone to help him out on the 2-point conversion. So he'll be tackled out of bounds, so the extra point is no good. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with 8:38 to go in the first. Eastmont strikes first. They lead Davis 6-0. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Life Channel. Well, Wildcats with a few tricks up their sleeves and have the early lead over Davis here at Eastmont High School. The ensuing kickoff after the touchdown by Van Asch, a high end-over-end kick, and Prothazon will take it at his own 4 up across the 10, 15, trying to bounce it outside. Look out, he's got room, but the Eastmont Wildcats are going to be over to take him out of bounds, but a good return by Prothazon as he'll get it up across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. That's where Davis will have their second possession of the ball game. So Eastmont onside kick to start the game. They can't do anything offensively because what we don't know right now, for whatever reason, they go with a sophomore quarterback to start things. Cole Warren. And then Schwickendorf comes in on the second series after a short punt. One big pass play to Scarmazzino, and then he takes it in himself from a yard out. The extra point, 2-point conversion attempt, no good. And 6-0 our score, 8:29 to go here as a fourth possession of the ball game with Davis on offense. And back to pass, Amazola throws out in the flat, but incomplete, to trying to get it to Pastrana. And it will stop the clock here with 8:25 to go in the first quarter. Davis trailing Eastmont 6-0.
And Davis Pirates with a couple key injuries to note. Their starter on the offensive line and defensive line, Contreras, and Evans Kimball, their tight end and defensive end, another two-way starter out.
So the Pirates break the huddle and will send two receivers wide to the far side to the left. That's Gonzalez and Pastrana. Wide to the far side of the field. Amazola back, pitches it back to Prothazon. Prothazon cuts one way, then comes back another, but none of the red jerseys in his path as Eastmont holds him for a couple of yard gain Has a good job by, again, Tristan Martinez getting the start at inside backer here for Eastmont. Got some help up front from Quentin Porterfield. They hold him to a short gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Ball resting at the 29-yard line. Davis on offense. Again, gorgeous, beautiful day for football here. 65 degrees and nary a breath of wind here at Eastmont High School. Trips to the left this time for the quarterback, Angel Amazola, who came in with 389 yards passing on the season. He'll need 8 here at least for the first down. Back to pass, rolling to his left, has a lot of green space out there. Going to keep it across the 30, 35, has the first down, puts his shoulder down, and takes it across the 40-yard line before he's smacked down there for Eastmont by Ruben Petch, and that's a first down for Davis. Gain of 12 yards on the running play for Amazola. And that's one thing that Amazola has shown, just a sophomore getting the start here, a quarterback for Davis since week 3 of the season. He's thrown 9 interceptions, including 3 last week in the overtime loss to Wenatchee. First down and 10 here from the Davis 41. Amazola in that pistol formation, gets the snap, turns, hands it to Prothazon, and he'll be stopped after a short gain. Eastmont up to the challenge so far, stacking the box inside Cody and saying, go ahead, hand it off to number 5. We'll see what he can do.
It's going to be a tough day for Davis if they're going to try and pound this up the middle. They think their run defense is, it's a physical bunch up front there. And unfortunately, Davis, they're having a tough time getting the ball moved through the air. So, it could be a long day for the Pirates.
Well, Eastmont trying to get their first victory of the season with a good chance right now on top of the scoreboard in this fourth quarter, 6-0. Amazola gets the snap from center, rolling to his right, wants to throws downfield. The ball is caught across midfield into Eastmont territory and taken down at the 43 of Eastmont is Corey Alt, the 5'7", 157-pound junior. Not a big target, but sure hands. And he gets a big gain for Davis down to the Eastmont 43. 14-yard pass play for Amazola. So he connects with his first receiver of the ball game, Corey Alt, who splits out wide to the left here. 3 receivers wide to the far side on first down and 10 from the Eastmont 43-yard line. Again, Amazola wants to pass it, rolling back in the pocket, has time, rushes out to the flat, wants to keep it himself, and a good job of chasing by Tristan Martinez to hold him to a short gain on that one, maybe just a yard, as Amazola took it around the left side. And good coverage downfield by Eastmont.
Very good, very good. And they're getting some pressure up front. Quarterback is being flushed out, and good pursuit from the outside, too. Not letting him turn the corner and pick up those extra yards.
Clock stops as he went out of bounds with 6:21. They're going to say no gain on the play. So a great job by Martinez in pursuit in front of the Davis bench on that far sideline. I counted them during the anthem. There's 43 fans from Davis who've made the trek up from Yakima for this one. 2nd and 10. Amazola takes a 2-step drop, throws high. The ball is caught, but right there to greet him for Eastmont is Faris Nassar, and gain on the play of about 6 yards will bring up 3rd down and 4.
Another good job with tackling by Eastmont. They've done a pretty good job with the open field tackling, wrapping up, making sure those ball carriers go down.
5-yard gain officially. Corey Alt on the reception there for Davis, who will split out again wide right. They go with pretty much the same wide receiver package throughout. Emilio Gonzalez is wide to the far side, right? And again, Amazola looking that way, throws the ball, caught by Pastrana. Look out, he's dangerous. He's their leading receiver. Has a first down to the Eastmont 25-yard line. Gain of 13 yards on a 3rd and 5 for Davis as they get up another big chunk of territory as they move the ball into Eastmont's end to the 25.
3rd downs have kind of been a problem for our Wildcats this year, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah, getting that 3rd down and getting them off the field as we have about 47 Seagulls that have occupied the far space of the field away from the play here. Meanwhile, Amazola will try to find a way to get into the end zone to at least tie this one up, 6-0. Eastmont on top. Amazola throws out to the right. The ball caught by his big tight end, rumbling his way inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. You mentioned that Evans Kimball is out, so Let's see, is that 36 or 38?
36.
Okay, for the Davis Pirates is Raven Bolin. Now, Bolin was originally a running back in the first couple of games of the season for Davis. So now they got him lined up as a tight end, and boy, he's a tough load to bring down.
He really is. Yeah, he's a low center of gravity, to say the least.
So the ball is resting at the Eastmont 13 on that first down play. Back to pass, Amazola has time, fires, Alt with the catch, and ball down to the 5. Amazola got popped after he got rid of the football.
Nice hit, yeah.
Gets up and looks like he was favoring his left arm a little bit, his non-throwing arm, but a pass connection down to the 5-yard line, a gain of 8 yards on that first down play for Davis. Sniffing the end zone in the red zone right now, and that's something that Coach Rick Clark said that they've had.
This is TV.
Just can't punch it in the end zone. Amazola wanted to get the snap there, but as he does, we have a flag thrown. So we're going to get a penalty. It would be our second of the ball game. Let's see who it's against. Dennis Brandstetter is our head referee, and he's going to say a dead ball foul and offsides on the offense. So they lined up just a little bit incorrectly there. So
you just mentioned problems in the red zone, and they're kind of going in the wrong direction already here.
So a couple of penalties in the ball game, one on each team. So 5 yards in penalties per side, and that'll make it second down and ball at the 10-yard line. Hand off to Prothazon, who will be cut down. Nice job by Eastmont on pursuit inside the 5 to about the 3. For the Wildcats defensively, Ruben Petch making his second play on this defensive series for the Cats. We'll bring up a third down for Davis. Ball just inside the 5, call it the 4-yard line. They can get a first down before getting in the end zone. It's going to be 3rd and 1. So a big play here for the Eastmont defense in this early going. Late first quarter, 3.5 to go. Eastmont on top, 6-0. Amazola gets the snap, turns, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looking in the end zone. Incomplete in the end zone, looking for the big fella down there, Raven Bolin. Ball skips off of his hands a little bit low, and incomplete, brings up a 4th and 1. They have a good field goal kicker.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to punch this in. Points have been pretty scarce for the Pirates this year. Only scored in double digits, I think only in 2 games so far.
Davis averaging just 9 points a game coming in. We're going to get a timeout taken before we can get this snap of the football. As Coach Rick Clark comes out on the field and says, no, I want to talk about this and make sure we're making the right call here. Along with Cody Johnson, Eric Granstrom with you, bringing you live Eastmont football tonight here on NCW Live Channel. On this Saturday evening, normally reserved for college football. Of course, we've got the Cougars and Huskies that are playing. We did have some high school football played around the region last night. Wenatchee falling to Moses Lake on the road 38-0. So any postseason chances for Wenatchee are now squashed. Also in Big 9 play last night, Camas over Sunnyside 37-12. And it was Eisenhower in a thriller down in West Valley, down in Yakima, 28-21. Meanwhile, in the Caribou Trail League, an upset last night as Cascade beats Okanagan 34-28. Kashmir, meanwhile, wins the Battle of the Bronze Shoe down in Chelan 28-18. So Kashmir atop the Caribou Trail League at 3-1. Okanagan and Cascade now both 2-1. Next 2 weeks going to be very interesting to see what shakes out in the Caribou Trail League. Also in 2A football last night, it was Ephrata falling to Grandview 33-16. Othello over Quincy 41-7. It is 6-0 here. Eastmont on top after the timeout taken by Davis. And the Pirates looking at a 4th and 1 situation. Will send one receiver all wide to the right, 2 receivers wide left, and the quarterback's going to keep it himself. And, boy, I don't know. It's going to be dependent upon the spot.
I think you're right.
It looks like he's down to the 2, so it looks like he'll have enough for the first down anyway. As Angel Amazola kept it, and he's got enough for the first down, looks like.
And again, Davis burning a lot of time off this clock, and they like to do that. They like to hang on to the ball and control time of possession. Even last week against Wenatchee, I think they had the ball about 12 minutes more than the Panthers did.
So Amazola needed 1, he got 2. First and goal from the 2 now for the Pirates. Gets a high snap from center, going to keep it himself, diving for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Davis, and the Pirates have tied it up at 6, pending the extra point with 2:54 to go here in the first quarter. So Amazola with a 1-yard touchdown run. And we'll see what they do. I see a T out there. As coming out, the Enrique Castro is their kicker. And he will try the extra point out of the hold of Isaac Pastrana. Vaughn Protheson is the long snapper. Davis getting an extra man off the field here. It looks like there may be short one. Snap high, spot down, kick away, and it is good. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. 2:54 to go here in the first quarter. And Davis takes the lead 7-6 over Eastmont. You're watching Wildcat football on NCW Life Channel TV. Davis gets its first points on the board and takes the lead here 7-6 over Eastmont on a 15-play drive, eating up 73 yards, 5 minutes, 35 seconds off the clock. Amazola with a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point up and good, and 7-6 our score with 2:54 left here in the first quarter of play at Eastmont High School. The man who tacked on the extra point moments ago will be the man to kick it off, Enrique Castro. Meanwhile, it'll be Schneider back on the return here for Eastmont. Looks like Scarmazzino also back there. End-over-end kick, scatters the Seagulls. And Schneider picks it up at the 13, across the 15 on the return, and belted at the 20, trying to still fight for yardage, but not able to get away from the grasp of Cesar Flores. And Eastmont will have it first down just beyond the 20, call it the 23-yard line, and the Davis Pirates slow to get up after the play, and now will roll over to his back, and they'll have to come out and attend to him. So 4 possessions in the contest so far. We've had 2 touchdowns. Eastmont went for 2 on its first score of the ball game and was unsuccessful in that attempt. 2:48 left here on the clock in this first quarter of play, and the injured Pirates now gets to his feet. And it looks like number 10, Guzmaro Mendoza, who is a starter on defense for Davis. So Eastmont back on offense here with the ball at its own 23-yard line. First down and 10 for Nathan Schwickendorf and company. Schwickendorf with 2 backs behind him in the backfield, so kind of an unfamiliar formation here for Eastmont with Dalton Harper as the get back. Schwickendorf fakes it to him and then hands it to the second man through. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe not. And a timeout going to be called on the field here. The officials say timeout Eastmont, and a loss of 2 back to the 21. So Jack Knighton was on the carry there. Eastmont typically goes with just a single back formation behind the quarterback, but going with that stacked I with the quarterback going out of a shotgun, kind of that pistol formation, but it's odd to see 2 running backs in the I right behind him.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult to do those fakes.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, they are trying a few different things here, and it makes you wonder maybe some of these injuries have kind of forced them to try a few new things.
Well, it doesn't hurt to show something a little new, a little wrinkle down the road as teams get a chance to look at you on film, and then you come out on a game night and show them something that you haven't shown all season long. Second down and 12 coming up for Eastmont after the 2-yard loss by Jack Knighton, again getting the start at 5'6", 150-pound sophomore. He'll be the tail of the eye here, and again the up back is Dalton Harper. Wide receivers 2 right, 1 left. Schwickendorf turns, hands it off to Knighton. Knighton has room across the 30, cuts it back at the 35, and out to the 39-yard line. And how about that sophomore showing a burst?
Not bad, and good blocking up front. The front 5 there, creating a gaping hole right up the middle.
19-yard gain for Jack Knighton. And you see, maybe they've talked to him a little bit in practice about wrapping up that ball, sophomore.
Yeah.
He had both arms.
But it's impressive, a run like that, because as you can see, Davis, they've got 5 men on the line, and they're stacking the box.
Yeah, Sam Grover, the big fella in the middle at 325 pounds. Schwickendorf back, hands it off to Knighton again, dancing around right, stumbling. It's across the 45 out to midfield. And another 10-yard gain for Jack Knighton and the Eastmont offense.
Yeah, talking with the Davis coach, they said they wanted to put extra people inside the box there and hopefully try and make Eastmont throw the ball, but it doesn't look like Eastmont really needs to do that. They're moving it pretty well on the ground so far.
Eastmont Schwickendorf with a touchdown run so far in this one as Eastmont trails at 7-6, a minute 50 clock counting here left in this first quarter of play. Again, that stacked I formation behind Schwickendorf in the backfield. Back to pass this time. Has plenty of time, now steps forward, now rolling out to his left, going to keep it himself, has a get away from one man, as making the leaping dive attempt at the tackle was Christian Reyes. But a nice job by the athletic Schwickendorf to get a positive gain into Davis territory down to the 47.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pick up maybe about 3 yards there.
Be 2nd and 7. Good coverage downfield by Davis in the defensive backfield by Pastrana and Huizer. Eastmont, you were talking about the rushing attack. They're 4th best in the Big Nine coming in, so they certainly can run the football and have had some success so far. 2nd and 7 for the Cats from the left hash mark. Minute 35 to go here in the first quarter of play. Schwickendorf gets a snap, turns, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, has room to the 45-40, gets a nice block downfield inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. And how about the block downfield by Levi Watts for the Wildcats?
That's textbook right there.
Great job on the fake by Schwickendorf to the running back, and then just tucked that ball right on his left hip pocket, came around the left side, and then picked up the block downfield from Levi Watts. The wide receiver came back and laid a lick on the defender and was able to allow Schwickendorf to get another few yards out of it. First down for Eastmont to the 32 of Davis on the 15-yard run. Ball left hash mark, and again, Schwickendorf will hand it off in front of him to the running back. Odd-looking play there. Knighton making a good run out of it, but we do have Yellow Hanky come flying in, and that's usually a look at a hold on the far side where that play came to a rest at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think that one could be coming back.
Our head referee, Dennis Brandstetter, got a word with the official on the far side who threw that hanky out there. And it is a hold against Eastmont, so that gain for the Wildcats will come back. Second penalty of the ball game for Eastmont now for 15 yards.
You know, I'm still surprised Schwickendorf. He does such a good job with some of these fakes. And, you know, he's still picking up a lot of yards. And, you know, defensive ends coming into Wildcat Stadium here, they must be sweating bullets.
Yeah, because you literally cannot see that ball until there's a scrum, and suddenly here's Schwickendorf popping out of it, and he's got that rock
running by you.
42 seconds left in the quarter. Eastmont trails at 7-6 to Davis. Another odd formation here for Eastmont, and we're going to get a face mask all over the place as going down with the tackle. The carry by Knighton, Sam Grover, that 325-pounder, I think, grabbed a handful of Knighton's face mask and nearly pulled his helmet around so he was looking through his ear hole.
Yeah, we could have thrown that flag from up here, I think.
So it'll be a 15-yarder as, 3 officials threw flags on that.
Yeah, it's going to give him a first down.
I think Mom up here in the stands also threw a flag on that.
I think she did too.
Jack Knighton's mom probably says, hey, wait a minute, we can't do that. So another penalty, this one against Davis. So 2 penalties and 20 yards now for the Pirates on the 15-yarder. And we'll have, is it first down over again? Yeah, we've had, 4 attempts, I think, at first down here.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again, this time 1st and 3. The ball at the 25-yard line. So we'll see what the Cats have here offensively in store, as they showed a tight slot formation that last time with Sugarback behind the line of scrimmage. Now they go to more of a traditional formation, and Schwickendorf fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, going to try to get around the right side, has a first down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. It doesn't matter. He's a right-handed quarterback, but he loves to run left and did well that time, Cody.
Yeah, he does. He does. And, kind of just followed his tailbacks right through that hole. And, again, he does a very good job manipulating that offense.
Well, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. And after one, it is Davis on top of Eastmont, 7-6. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with second quarter action here from Wildcat Stadium. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Life Channel. Wildcats continue a drive with a first down at the 20-yard line as we begin the second quarter here at Eastmont High School. Davis on top, 7-6, along with Cody Johnson. Eric Grandstrom coming to you tonight here live on the NCW Live Channel. Turn and fake the handoff. Schwickendorf looking for the end zone. Deep throw as the receiver. Did he get his feet in? No, he did not. Caught the ball down there. Scaramazino, nice pitch and catch, but a little bit too far out of bounds.
Yeah, just 1 foot on the line there. But good throw. I mean, only his man had the chance to catch it.
Well, they've had the success running the ball so far on those play-action fakes, and that really causes the linebackers to take another step and look in, and that gave Schwickendorf plenty of time to find a receiver coming open just a little bit too late on the throw and out of bounds. So second down and 10 coming up from the 20 for Eastmont. Again, with that stacked eye behind Schwickendorf in the pistol formation. He'll turn and hand it off to Knighton. Knighton trying to get around the corner, has blockers out front, but a good job by Davis this time of sniffing it out as they get around on the tackle after a short gain on the play. It looked to be on the tackle over there on the pursuit, Giovanni Contreras. Nice job by Contreras to make the stop. It'll be third down coming up for Eastmont. They'll put the ball at the 19, so a gain of 1 that time for Knighton. Looked like initially he had some room around there, but a good job by the pursuit on the defensive linebacker over there to make the stop. 3rd and 9 for Eastmont. Need to get to the 10 for a first down from the 19. Back to pass. Schwickendorf throws out in the flat. Scaramazino can't collect it. And the ball incomplete. Pastrana picks it up, and I was wondering that too, if that wasn't a lateral instead of a forward pass. But the officials right on the spot say that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's the first thing I look forward to. I mean, you as a official and me as well, that's the first thing I looked at. I wonder if that was backwards.
Well, and we saw that last week in the game against Eastmont where Davis on offense threw a lateral that I think it was a forward pass, and then a double pass and went for a 56-yard touchdown for Davis as they came back and tied the game late on a long field goal to send it into an extra Kansas City tiebreaker. But Wenatchee came out on top in that one. Eastmont trying to reclaim the lead here as Van Ash will try the field goal from 35 yards, and it's good. Nice job by Jake Van Ash on the 35-yard field goal. And Eastmont retakes the lead at 9-7 with 10:56 to go in the first half. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Live Channel. Nash has the ball teed up and a high end-over-end kick. Going to come down to the return man at the 5. That is Prothazon across the 10, 15, 20. Look out, he's got some speed to the 30. He's got 2 men to beat across the 40 and then spun out of bounds at the 45-yard line. A great return by Prothazon after Eastmont retook the lead at 9-7 on a 35-yard field goal by Jake Van Ash. That capped a 10-play, 58-yard drive that stalled at the 19 of Davis, but the Cats do get points out of it and hold the lead right now by a score of 9-7 as Davis gets a great return and will have fantastic field position at its own 46-yard line with 10:47 to go here in this first half play. Back on offense comes the Pirates, and we have a different quarterback in there, I believe. Turn and handoff to Prothazon. Prothazon going to get a short gain on the play, maybe 3 yards out near midfield. And getting in there at quarterback right now, Peter Ramirez, a 5'10", 148-pound sophomore. And so Ramirez now at quarterback for Davis. Second down after a 3-yard gain by Prothazon out to the 49. It'll bring up second down and 7. So Ramirez at quarterback now, that fresh jersey out there wears number 7. Gets a snap from center. Turn, hands it to Prothazon. Prothazon is caught in the backfield. He get away from 2 men, but can't get away from the rest as the Cats defense comes charging. Chase Payne in there to finish him off. And also up front for the Wildcats, looks like it was also helping on the stop for Eastmont, Landon McClune. And a good job by that Wildcat defense to get penetration.
Yeah, good job with the pursuit and the gang tackling. After he broke that first tackle, you had 2 other Wildcats right there, and that's what you look for in a good, solid defense.
So we'll see if the sophomore has to throw it for the first time here on 3rd down and 8 after they lost a yard on that last play. And Ramirez is going to haul and throw it deep downfield, and the ball is nearly intercepted at the 20-yard line of Eastmont. Great coverage downfield for the Wildcats as Stephen Lawless was stride for stride with Alt downfield. Heck of a throw by that left-handed quarterback, the replacement here for Davis, but Lawless right there almost picked it off.
Yeah, great coverage downfield by the Wildcats. They're playing some good football today, some good, solid football.
Schneider will drop back to return this punt here for the Wildcats, as Jesus Alvarez will come in and stand just outside his own 35-yard line to punt this ball away. So another 3 and out for Davis. And Alvarez punts the ball. It will drop down inside the 30, take a Davis roll, and come to a rest just inside the 20-yard line. And that's where Eastmont will have it. And you got a feeling here so far, Cody, that Eastmont's trying to get his first win of the season. Things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, the energy feels a little bit different too, both offensively and defensively. And their special teams, playing terrific. And when you have some good special teams play going on, it does make it easier for your offense and for your defense.
9:15 to go here in the first half of play. Eastmont on top by a score of 9-6. Cats struck first on a 1-yard run by Schwickendorf. Extra point attempt was no good. Davis came back and scored themselves to take the lead 7-6. And then Eastmont with a 35-yard field goal now has the lead back. Schwickendorf wants to go for it all here on the first play. Looking downfield for Schneider. The ball tipped around, and it is intercepted by Davis. On the return, Gizmaro Mendoza. Mendoza to the 40 of Eastmont and will be knocked out of bounds here in front of the Eastmont bench at the 35-yard line. And flags come raining down after that as a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, just a tad late on that one, I think.
Heave downfield by Schwickendorf. Was looking for Schneider and jump ball down at the Eastmont 40-yard line. And Schwickendorf was hoping that Schneider was going to be able to use his height advantage to come up with it. But the man who was injured on a punt or kickoff return moments ago, Gizmaro Mendoza, comes up with the interception and the return and add injury to insult. 15 yards on top of it for a hit out of bounds. Davis going to be in great field position, half the distance to the goal at the Eastmont 15-yard line.
And again, I should probably point out that I think Eastmont knows that we're broadcasting this game. They're going to keep it interesting for our folks at home.
Yeah. And I should not have said something, but, it looks so good, Cody, right now for the Eastmont Wildcats.
We won't say that anymore.
No, Ramirez back at quarterback here for Davis. Stands in the backfield. We'll have to check and see if they're starting. Amazola is maybe injured after the first few series of the ball game. Hand off to Prothazon, and Prothazon will take it down to the 12, a gain of 3 yards on first down. So Davis with the interception and then the penalty. That penalty, by the way, is the 3rd on Eastmont on the night, now for 25 yards. As Davis will have it second down at the Eastmont 12-yard line. Again, Ramirez at quarterback, looking for the snap from center with 2 receivers wide right. Handoff Prothazon again. Prothazon stripped down at the 10-yard line. Pretty good penetration there for Eastmont by J.R. Alvarez. It was Alvarez, we were here a couple of weeks ago, had a great game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he did. Nice shoestring tackle there, too. Almost got him in the backfield.
So after that interception, Davis with the football, and under 8 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Davis sends all wide to the right. He's been busy so far. 3rd down and 5 for the Pirates. Turn again, hand to Prothazon. Prothazon met at the line of scrimmage, and there's J.R. Alvarez leading the attack again, getting some help from Tristan Martinez. Those two inside backers doing the job of reading the backfield and making the tackle. No gain on the play, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I think some of these Davis Pirates are going to be dreaming of the number 24 here, I think, tonight.
It'll be a nightmare, I think, by the
yeah.
end of the evening, that's for sure. So the Pirates will come and try a field goal attempt here, as it's a 9-7 contest. So if Davis is successful, they'll reclaim the lead. This will be a 27-yard attempt, and the kick is up. It is on the way, and it is good. We will take a 60-second break and come back with 7 minutes even left in the first half. It's Davis 10, Eastmont 9. You're watching Wildcat football on the NCW Life Channel. Scarmazzino on the return for Eastmont after the ensuing kickoff. Gets it all the way out near midfield. A great return by Cameron Scarmazzino. As Davis just kind of lapsed on their coverage there. Wasn't anything other than red hat on a black hat. And Scarmazzino was able to find the gap in between and takes it all the way out to the 48 for Eastmont. So a game of field position goes in favor of the Wildcats here, Cody.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better this time around. And again, like I said, they're going to keep it interesting here tonight. Fans at home are not even going to have a chance to make some popcorn, I don't think.
43-yard kickoff return out to the 48, so 6:49 to go here in this first half of play. Davis now back out on top as we've had a seesaw battle in this one so far. 10-9 after the 27-yard field goal by Castro. The snap back to Schwickendorf, and he'll turn and hand it off. Another flag down on a face mask, and they're going to add this one to the end of the run here for Jack Knighton, who got 10 yards on the rumble for a first down, 15 on top of it.
Yeah, it looks like we could have a Davis Pirate. He's getting up kind of slow, maybe an ankle injury, I'm guessing.
Raul Franco, slow to get up, so he'll be replaced in the lineup here by Mason Dominguez. Meanwhile, the officials are talking about whether that's a 5-yard or 15-yard face mask. It did turn his head, and anymore they are so careful about the level of injury or injury-prone plays on the field that can result in some damage. And so they are going to say that's a personal foul, 15 yards on top of the 10-yard run. So 3 penalties and 35 yards now for Davis, as we've had 50 yards in penalties so far in this one. 6:42 left in the first half. Eastmont, great field position now as they'll put the ball after the penalty at the 27 of Davis. So the big penalty and the march off and turn handoff, and this is one of the backup running backs here for Eastmont, as it's Quentin Porterfield who's tackled down for a loss on the play. Good penetration there by the Davis Pirates, as shooting the gap and getting in on the tackle of the backfield. Christian Reyes, the 5'10", 226-pound senior, shot through there, and a loss all the way back outside the 30. A loss of 4 brings up 2nd and 14. Schwickendorf gets the signal from the sideline as nighttime approaches here on this fall evening in eastern Washington. We love bringing you the broadcasts on NCW Life Channel. Along with Cody Johnson, Eric Granstrom here. Turn, fake the handoff, throw out to the flat. We're going to get a flag down on a pass interference call, as the pass was intended for Schneider. Coverage downfield by Tyree Walker, and Walker got there a little bit early and knocked the receiver down, so an easy call for the officials. So that pass interference they'll mark off from the line of scrimmage. That's an automatic first down for Eastmont, should be. Unless they change the rule book since I was officiating football. Which
you never know.
They could have. And I'm not saying I knew the whole rule book by any stretch of the imagination. The officials are talking it over here.
It could always be worse. You know that commercial where the referees, they're talking it over in a huddle there, and his microphone
is on, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a 15-yard penalty, but where the ball was on the field, they went half the distance. So the ball's now at the 16, and that is a first down. So I think I'm still okay on the rule book.
I think you're good.
Okay.
I really do.
All right. Dennis Brandstetter, our head referee, talking to Schwickendorf about ball placement here. And a first down for Eastmont after the penalty. And that's 4 penalties and 46 yards of penalties against Davis here so far in the ball game. 5:43 to go. Eastmont trying to reclaim the lead after losing it just moments ago by a field goal by the Davis Pirates. Schwickendorf fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and gets a couple of good yards inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
And they're keeping that clock moving, too.
Best defense is a good offense. Is that the old,
I think so, yeah.
adage?
It's working here for the Wildcats today.
Back and forth we've been. A couple of field goals in this one, a couple of touchdowns in this one. In a 10-9 contest, just over 5 minutes to go. Clock running here left in this first half of play. Appreciate you joining us for Saturday night football from Eastmont High School on the NCW Life Channel. Porterfield is the eye of the backfield here as Schwickendorf gets pressure through the middle, and coming on a open run up the gut for Davis was Christian Reyes. Kind of one of those lookout blocks up front where the offensive line had a little gap there, and he shot right through and takes him down for a sack on the play all the way out to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, maybe a missed assignment there up front. And there was some good coverage downfield, too. I don't know that he would have had any other option to but maybe scramble on that play, even if he hadn't gotten that kind of pressure right up the gut.
Christian Reyes at 5'10" and 226 pounds. He was a big billboard in the way of him being able to see anything downfield there. So Eastmont looking at a 3rd and long situation as into the ball game. Levi Watts will go wide left. Schwickendorf looking over the middle of the ball a little bit too high for the intended target, Stephen Lawless. And for the Davis Pirates, almost a hand on it by Isaac Pastrana, falls incomplete. That'll be a 4th down coming up for the Panthers. Looks like another field goal situation.
This one's going to be a little bit longer than the last one, though.
Van Ash will come out to try to kick a 40-yard field goal as they'll spot it down at the 30. Devin Schneider is the holder. Ball towards the left, a little bit left to right on the kick here. A long kick on the way, and it is good. 40 yards on the field goal for Eastmont by Jake Van Ash. His 2nd connection of the night, and it gives Eastmont a reclamation of the lead at 12-10. We'll take a 60-second break with 4:08 to go in the half. Eastmont on top of Davis. You're watching Wildcat football on the NCW Live Channel. Prothazon on the kickoff return for Davis. This time is not able to get much yardage. He got it out to the 20, and that's all for the Davis Pirates. Eastmont on top by a score of 12-10 here. Kind of an odd looking and odd sounding score for this football game on this Saturday night. The Wildcats taking the ball 8 plays and 29 yards. Van Ash with a 40-yard field goal. And that has given Eastmont the lead back. We've had 3 lead changes in this one. 4:01 to go in the first half of play. And our 10th possession of the ball game, this time for the Davis Pirates. And again, they're staying with that youngster, Peter Ramirez, at quarterback, and he's going back to pass, throwing out in the flat. The ball is picked off by Schneider on the return to the 25-20. He's got blockers in front, cuts it back at the 10, still on his feet to the 5, and down to the 1-yard line. Devin Schneider taking advantage on a tip ball. He's got it for the interception. Eastmont in great condition at the 1-yard line.
Nice job keeping his eyes up on that tipped ball. That's the kind of thing you do try and practice with those tip ball drills. And, boy, Eastmont in good position here to take a little bit bigger lead into this locker room. Got to make them feel good.
Got that interception back around the 35-yard line, and a great return. Had some blockers up front. You also practice that on the pick drill usually have some sort of a bingo or some sort of call that you yell out to the rest of your defensive players to block in front of you. Schwickendorf now will try to cash in. Low snap, turn, and handoff, or did he keep it himself? He kept it himself, and it's going to be a loss on the play after the low snap and penetration up front here for Davis. Getting in there was Jonathan Villanueva. He'll drop Schwickendorf for a loss on the play all the way back to the 8-yard line.
Eastmont keeping that.
Excuse me. Yeah, out the 9-yard line. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Cody.
Eastmont keeping that clock running, which is really good right now because, Davis, they do burn a lot of time on offense, and, this will help even it up.
So second down from the 9 now. Schwickendorf going to throw it out in the flat looking for Schneider, who had the interception, and now he collects the touchdown for the Eastmont Wildcats. One of the Davis Pirates is slow to get up in the defensive backfield. Lying on his back is Raven Bolin, who is playing a double duty here, offense and defense, and he's going to have to come off the field after getting shaken up. But a 9-yard touchdown pass from Schwickendorf to Devin Schneider. Only made the pick. Why not help him help himself, and gives Eastmont the touchdown.
He took it all the way down to the 1. You got to give him another shot, don't you?
So Schwickendorf on the touchdown pass for the Eastmont Wildcats, and that is his 6th touchdown pass of the season. The extra point on the way in through, and we will take a 60-second break and come back with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Eastmont on top, 19-10 over Davis. You're watching Wildcat football on the NCW Life Channel. Kick taken by one of the up men here for the Davis Pirates, and he's a good ball carrier. We've seen him on an interception return already for Davis in this ball game. And bringing it up to the 40-yard line is Gizmaro Mendoza, and a decent return on the squib kick. And so Davis will have pretty good field position here after the interception by Schneider. Returned at 34 yards all the way to the 1. Eastmont backed up on its first play to the 9, but then Schwickendorf hit Schneider on the touchdown pass, the extra point good. And with 3 minutes left in the first half, Eastmont on top, 19-10. Davis now will see if they can take advantage of good field position as they've got it out at the 42 of the Pirates with 2:48 to go here in this first half of play. High snap, but Ramirez able to hand it off to Fothazon. He's across the 45 to the 47-yard line before he's tumbled down there for Eastmont defensively on the Wildcat defensive front. Brennan Cornell on the tackle for Eastmont. It'll be second down after a 5-yard gain. Out to the 47 on the first yard run by Prothazon, who has been the majority of Davis's offense here in this first half of play. Prothazon again came in with 639 yards rushing, third best in the Big 9. They're going to hand it to him again, running right, but this time nothing happening as the Eastmont Wildcat defense converges, and a great job of getting some penetration here for the Wildcats. Getting in there was Brennan Cornell. Also, Landon McClune for Eastmont, and a short, in fact, no gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 5.
Clock under 2 minutes now. You got to think Davis might be wanting to toss that ball downfield here.
Well, and that's good news for Eastmont because they've given it up already a couple of times here in this ball game. Well, should have been 2 times as Eastmont nearly had a pick earlier by Stephen Lawless. Let's see if they go at Lawless again. 3rd down and 5. Left-handed quarterback throws right and well over the head of everybody on the far sideline, and it goes incomplete. And that's good news for Eastmont because it stops the clock.
Yeah, it does. 1:25 left. And I got to say, the ball has been bouncing in Eastmont's favor so far tonight. And wouldn't be surprised if they do get the ball back, trying to take a few shots downfield.
1:25 to go here in the first half. Eastmont on top by a score of 19-10. The Cats have scored the last 2, including a field goal and a touchdown. 4th and 5 here, and back to punt it away is Jesus Alvarez. Alvarez turns to his right, punts it away, end-over-end kick to Schneider. Schneider to the 35, and out to the 40 before he's ridden down hard there by big Mason Dominguez, a 275-pound, 6-foot junior. Tells Devin Schneider, I don't think you're going to get anywhere past this wall. And it is first down for Eastmont with time and good field position at the 40 of Eastmont.
Well, I guess the question is, is Eastmont content with a 9-point lead, which they're probably, they're not used to having a lead going into half like this.
I think when you're winless on the season, I think you go for it.
I think you do too.
3 receivers wide to the right here for Schwickendorf, 1 wide to the short side of the field to the top side left as we look at it here on the NCW Live channel. Schwickendorf back to pass, getting some pressure from the backside, throws downfield the ball a little bit too shy of Stephen Lawless. Incomplete, and good pursuit for Davis on the backside by Mason Dominguez. He's the one that made the stop moments ago on that kickoff return. Jonathan Villanueva also getting in there, some pressure for Davis. 2nd down and 10 for Eastmont.
That was still a good pass, I want to say, because even though it wasn't completed, there was no chance that it was going to be an interception. And, that's really the sign of a quarterback who's starting to become very poised in running that offense.
Davis had injury over on the far side. Is limping off the field for the Pirates was Gizmaro Mendoza. We saw him kind of gimped up earlier on a kickoff return coverage. And now he goes over to the far sideline, and Coach Rick Clark didn't have enough bodies out there right before the snap. And so rather than give up a big play because he doesn't have defensive backs, he calls a timeout. So Davis on the timeout. Eastmont comes over to their near side to talk to their head coach and see what they want to dial up here on a 2nd down from the 40-yard line of the Wildcats. Eastmont on top, 19-10 here with 1:10 to go in this first half of play. Appreciate you joining us on the NCW Live channel. Along with Cody Johnson, I'm Eric Granstrom. A whole host of folks behind the scenes making this happen. We appreciate their services as well here on this Saturday evening in what has turned out to be a gorgeous night. I had a chance to drive up in the higher elevations today and look at some of the explosion of colors that's going on. And it is a beautiful time to get out and about here in north central Washington. Schwickendorf gets a snap from center, throws out over the middle. The ball is almost caught and then almost intercepted. It falls incomplete. Schneider just had to go through his hands. If he catches that, comes down with it, he might be in the end zone right now.
That's what I was thinking. In fact, I would have dropped it too. I mean, I saw touchdown even if the ball was only halfway there.
Emilio Gonzalez was on the coverage there. He was behind the intended receiver. Schneider cut in front of him on a crossing pattern. And that ball just thrown a little bit too high by Schwickendorf. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Eastmont from the 40. And the clock stops with 1:06. So somehow that only took 4 seconds for that pass play. 3rd and 10 from the 40. Here comes Davis up the middle on the charge. Again, he's going to try that same play. Diving down, coming up with the grab is Schneider. It's a completed pass. How about that?
Nice one-handed grab. It looked like from up here.
Well, there's no replay for the officials, and so it will be a first down for Eastmont after the 12-yard pass play from Schwickendorf to Schneider. He's got the height advantage here on this near side with the injury to Davis's Mendoza. Schwickendorf back, flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his left, and he's going to take it himself and go out of bounds inside the 45 at about the 44-yard line. Good decision there by the right-handed quarterback running around left side. You just have a hard time squaring up your body with that pursuit coming at you.
And getting out of bounds.
Yeah. 2nd down for the Cats. They'll put the ball to the 44, so a 4-yard gain for Schwickendorf, and the clock stops on the out-of-bounds play with 47.3 seconds to go. Last embers of daylight flickering in the horizon as the lights are taking full effect here at Eastmont Field. 2nd down for the Wildcats, and now we're going to get a timeout taken as Coach Michael Don didn't like what he saw out there, and so he'll call the timeout and bring the troops over, and they'll have a discussion here. Just 2 weeks left of the season for the fall football campaign of 2016, Cody. Boy, this has gone by quickly.
It seemed like it really has.
Eastmont, after this matchup, of course, will have kind of a shorter week to get ready for the Bridge of Sportsmanship, as they'll host Wenatchee here at Eastmont. In fact, this field's going to get a lot of use here over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They've got soccer here, but also Eastmont football here over the next 2 weeks as well. Wenatchee here next Friday. We'll have that live on the NCW Live channel. And then Eastmont will host Sunnyside in the regular season finale. That'll be on November 4th. Don't forget, speaking of Bridge of Sportsmanship, we've got Eastmont and Wenatchee volleyball Tuesday at Eastmont High School. And Leanne Branham and I will have the play-by-play of that. And that's been fun teaming up with Leanne on a couple of volleyball broadcasts.
Yeah,
so far.
she's good.
Oh, she's good. Fantastic. Makes me look really good.
I know.
And that's hard to do. Second down for Eastmont after the timeout. Let's see what they dial up here. Schwickendorf in the pocket. Throws down deep left. Has a receiver open. Schneider has it at the 10. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Just like that.
44 yards on the pass play from Schwickendorf to Schneider. And sounds like a bread company making dough here tonight. Schwickendorf to Schneider connection. Eastmont on top 25-10 as we're closing out the first half of play. Van Ash will come in to try to tack on the extra point here. The snap back, spot down, kick away, and it's good. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with 37 seconds left in the first half of play. Eastmont 26, Davis 10. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Live channel. Eastmont's with the kickoff. Van Ash, line drive kickoff this time. Will come down to Fothazon. No, he'll let it go by him into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and Davis will have it with 37 seconds left. Eastmont now on top, 26-10. After a 5-play, 60-yard drive capped off by the 44-yard touchdown pass from Schwickendorf to Schneider, the extra point, good. Cody, all they did was take Schneider and move him from one side of the field to the other, and it seems like worked. Davis lost track of it.
Yeah, it worked. And, sometimes that's all you need to do. But, nice pass. Nice pass downfield. Had some one-on-one coverage there. And, you said it. When you're having a tough season, why not try and increase that lead here before half?
Well, they were able to do so. Now we'll see what the sophomore Ramirez has in store for the Pirates. He'll turn, throw it out in the flat. Watch the double pass here. Pastrana going to wind it up and throw downfield. The ball is intercepted by Schneider. And how about the night for Devin Schneider? All world as he's got 2 interceptions. And now we got a fight breaking out here at the 31-yard line or 41-yard line. Some pushing and shoving going on. We got a penalty flag that's thrown. So the ball will be Eastmont's, and the skirmish happened after the interception. Eastmont, it looks like, we get the ball near midfield on the second interception of the night by Schneider. But we'll see who the instigator was and if there might be an injection. I saw a push. I didn't know if it was a punch. And if it's a punch, you're automatically supposed to be gone. But we'll see here who the penalty is on and what the adjudication will be. Personal foul against Davis. Personal foul against Eastmont. They'll offset. And so it'll be Eastmont football at midfield.
And the Wildcats have 28 seconds to try and put a few more points on the board here before half.
Well, it's been the Schwickendorf to Schneider exchange the last 2 times.
Yeah. And it's make a difference day, too. And Eastmont has, haven't they?
They have made a difference. And Devin Schneider has certainly made a difference in the opportunities here for Eastmont. And Schwickendorf looking his way again, throws over the middle. And look for Scaramazino at the 35, overthrew him. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up from midfield for Eastmont, and there is 24 seconds left in the half. Was that just a decoy to draw Davis away from Schneider?
He had 3 guys. Did you see that?
I did see that.
3 right around him.
Yeah, I think Rick Clark over there told the defense, no matter what you do, cover 89.
Tackle him no matter what.
And he seems like the kind of guy that would say it just that way.
Yeah.
Maybe little expletives deleted as well there. 2 receivers wide to the right, 2 wide left here for Eastmont on this 2nd down and 10 from midfield. with 24 seconds left in this first half of play. Schwenkendorf looking down over the middle, and the ball is incomplete. A little miscommunication there. I think he thought Schneider was going to continue, but Schneider did a little button hook at the 45. Ball falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. He may have been going for Scarmazzino, but Scarmazzino went down and in rather than down and out. And the pass from Schwenkendorf looked like it was a down and out. So a little miscommunication there between the Cats offensively.
Still 19 seconds left, and Wildcats still have a timeout, too.
Well, and Van Ash has already kicked a, 40-yarder here tonight. So he's got a leg. We'll see what Eastmont does in 3rd down and 10. Trips to the left this time. Schwenkendorf looks right and wants to go for Schneider again. Lofts it down there, and he is incomplete as he fell out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Had him open.
Yeah, that one just got away from him just a tad bit there.
So 4th down with 13 seconds left, and Eastmont looks like they're going to punt this football away. As into the contest comes Manny Lopez, who had a 40-yarder, 42-yarder in his first punt of the night.
Wildcats doing a much better job tonight with their punt game. I think
Pastrana.
a couple weeks ago we had, a couple 9-yard punts?
Yeah, it was a tough night for the entire staff. High snap here, but Lopez gets it down. This kick not quite as good. It will hit but take an Eastmont bounce inside the 35, inside the 30, inside the 25, and down to about the 23-yard line. And they'll just continue to watch the ball. The officials, had they waited half another breath, that would have been the last play of the first half. But 1.7 seconds left after the punt, and that'll be officially a 26-yard punt by Lopez, as Davis will have it at its own 24-yard line. 1.7 seconds left on the clock. Our 16th possession between the two teams here in this first half of play. Eastmont's defense has risen to the occasion a couple of times with a couple of turnovers here, and they're going to go with a tight formation, just snap, take a knee, and head into the locker room. And Davis will try to make some readjustments at halftime, and we'll have to see what the health situation is with their quarterback, who played the first couple of possessions, but we haven't seen him since. They've gone with a sophomore, and that sophomore's given the ball up a couple of times to number 89 for Eastmont, who's got 2 touchdowns on the receiving end, 2 interceptions this first half. So Devin Schneider shows so far, and Eastmont leads at 26-10 here as we have gone to halftime. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back. Here from halftime with Cody Johnson, I'm Eric Granstrom. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Live Channel. Eastmont out to a 26-10 lead over Davis, trying to get its first win of the season, and a pretty darn good first half of football for the Eastmont Wildcats. It would begin with the Wildcats taking 3 plays and outs, and a 42-yard punt put Davis in its own end of the field at the 11-yard line. Davis would return a punt from its own 10 of just 17 yards, and that set Eastmont up in great field position at the Davis 27-yard line. Just 2 plays later, Schwenkendorf took it in on a 1-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion attempt was no good. Eastmont at that point led it by a score of 6-0. But Davis would would get its first lead of the game on its next possession. After the kickoff, they'd have it first down at their own 27-yard line. Amazola would take it in from 2 yards out and cap a 15-play, 73-yard drive that was 5 minutes and 35 seconds in length. And with 2:54 left in the first quarter, Davis led it by a score of 7-6. Eastmont's next possession of the ball game would give the Wildcats the lead back, as we had a back-and-forth first and second quarter in this contest. Eastmont with the ball at its own 23-yard line would get some help with some big penalties along the way, and a 35-yard field goal by Jake Van Ash with 10:56 left in the first half of play would give Eastmont the lead back by a score of 9-7. But it would be Davis again to take the advantage of an interception. The interception it was on the pickoff there for the Davis Pirates. Number 10, Mendoza, Gizmaro Mendoza, on the interception of a Schwickendorf pass, and would get a pretty decent return. And Davis would cap it off with a field goal of 27 yards after the interception by Castro. And with 7 minutes left in the first half play, Davis had the lead by a score of 10-9. But then it would be all Eastmont after that. The Wildcats would take the lead back 12-10 on a 40-yard field goal by Jake Van Ash, capping an 8-play and 29-yard drive after a great kickoff return. Brought the ball out to midfield by the Wildcats. Eastmont would take advantage of an interception in its next offensive possession, have the ball deep to the 1 yard line after a return on the pickoff by Devin Schneider. Schwickendorf, after a loss on a sack in the first play of the possession, would toss it to Schneider in the left corner of the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point good gave Eastmont a 19-10 lead with 3 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Another interception would put Eastmont in business again, as Schneider was able to get another collection of a pass from Schwickendorf from 44 yards out. The extra point good, and with 37 seconds left in the half, Eastmont on top 26-10, and that's where our score is right now. We will take another 3-minute break here at halftime and come back and talk to Cody Johnson about his thoughts on that first half for the Eastmont Wildcats. It was the Schwickendorf-Schneider show. Sounds like a bread company to me, and making dough here in the Eastmont home field as they lead at 26-10 at halftime. We'll take another 3-minute break and come back. You're watching Eastmont football here on the NCW Life Channel. 26-10 halftime lead as we're getting ready for the second half of play. Eastmont will be the receivers of a kickoff by Davis, along with Cody Johnson, Eric Granstrom with you. We wanted to thank also our executive producer of NCW Life Channel Sports, Dan Kuntz. Our studio coordinator, engineer is Chris Williams. Our replay chief expert is Rachel Sullivan, and on camera is Tucker Wagner and Logan Pratt. Thanks to everybody for being a part of the broadcast, and thanks for watching it here tonight on the NCW Life Channel or on our replay. As we are ready, Eastmont trying to get its first win of the season. Well, check off the first two quarters positively for Eastmont. We'll see what they're able to do here in this second half of play as they'll have the football to start it off. A high end-over-end kick will come down to Scar Mazzino at the 10, 15 on the return, 20, cuts it up to the 25, gets away from one man, squeaks past another at the 35, and out near the 40-yard line. And Cody Johnson, he talked about special teams, and there they were special once again.
I got to give him an A++ now. Yeah, that's a good way to start your second half. Keep that momentum going. And, you can kind of – Davis almost looks like some of the air is starting to come out of the balloon here.
Well, they were up across the river in the Apple Bowl last week and were down on the scoreboard early. They came all the way back and tied that game and forced it into Kansas City tiebreaker. They lose it in the tiebreaker. But you can't count them out here, and it'll be Eastmont football at its own 40-yard line. And Schwickendorf back, hands it off to Knighton. Knighton trying to dance around the far side, but a good job of pursuit over there by Davis defensively. As leading the way are the man who's been kind of dinged up here throughout, Raven Bolin. And he gets up a little slow, but he makes a play. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Raven Bolin, again, coming in to replace Contreras. And
Ivory Evans Kimball was the man who was the late scratch, and so it was just 2 days ago that I talked to Coach Rick Clark about him, so something must have happened in practice. Schwickendorf, high snap over his head. He's going to have to dive down on it, and a loss on the play all the way back to about the 25-yard line of Eastmont. So that's the second or third time we've seen a little problem with that snap from center.
Well, and again, I have to bring this up, but the Wildcats like to keep these games interesting for our folks at home watching. They're going to give us a heart attack.
It does seem the televised games we've had here from Eastmont this year have been very entertaining, to say the least.
Highest rated show I think we ever had.
So third down and long coming up for Eastmont from its own 26-yard line after the loss of, 15, almost 14 yards on the play. Schwickendorf throws out the flat to Scarmazzino, and again, that's close to being a lateral. It was a forward pass, so it is incomplete. And, well, you get great field position on the kickoff return, and then it goes awry on the offensive side of things, and now the Cats will have to punt it away to the Pirates on a 4th down from its own 26-yard line. Well, what appears to be a punting situation for Manny Lopez.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Isaac Pastrana is very good as a returner for Davis, and Davis, unless Lopez is able to get an immense kickoff or a punt away here, Davis should have great field position to start this first possession of the second half. A high pass from center, nearly blocked, and the flag is down as Manny Lopez is down and injured at about the 10-yard line. He will get up, but defender came through and nearly blocked the punt. The punt, meanwhile, comes to a rest at the 47-yard line, 48-yard line, and it is going to be a personal foul running in, roughing the kicker, and that'll be a first down for Eastmont.
Yeah, you know, that it was kind of a high snap that kind of floated, and I don't know if you've ever punted, Eric.
I have.
I've had to fill in. I was like the 4th string punter.
Oh, that's not good if you're the 4th string punter having to fill in.
Yeah, but you know, you see one of those snaps coming, it's kind of floating, and you don't know if the ball's going to get there before the.
Oh yeah, you just hope suddenly that the ball grows lead.
Yeah.
Get down, and that's probably what Manny Lopez felt right there. As here came one of the big defenders up front, and I think it was that nose guard, Sam Grover, 5'10", 325 pounds that bumped into him.
I should point out, you know, I was a wide receiver, very small, and then they put me in to punt, and, you know. But luckily, that was 8-man football back in the days, you know.
Where was this?
In Odessa.
Oh, in Odessa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before, back in the old days, before concussions and all that stuff.
Oh, that's what's wrong.
Right.
I see.
Leather helmets.
So after the penalty, the Eastmont Cats have a first down at the 41, and Schwickendorf, busted play, is going to take it himself across the 40 to the 35, 30, one man to beat. Pastrana finally bumps him out of bounds deep into Davis territory to the 25-yard line.
Boy, just when you think you've got them contained, he'll rip off a big play like that, and we've seen it before just a couple weeks ago.
34 yards on the running play by Schwickendorf, and it looked like a busted play in the backfield, but Schwickendorf is able to take it deep into Davis territory, and that's kind of what Rick Clark has talked about himself with his club, is they've been kind of snake bit on, you make a mistake, you can't recover from it, and next thing you know, you've got the other team knocking on the door. That's the case for Eastmont right now. On a 1st and 10 from the 25, ball left hash mark, Schwickendorf gets the snap. He turns, hands it off to Knighton, trying to race around the right side, waits for his blockers to set up, and is going to get a decent gain out of it to the 21, so a gain of 4 yards on that first down play. Well, for the sophomore, Jack Knighton, who I'm sure doesn't have a lot of varsity time running the football, he's showing a lot of patience on those sweeps around the end.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a really good job. And, you know, for, you know, Eastmart, they are starting 3 sophomores in today's game, and they're doing well. They're doing real well.
Schwickendorf on a second down play, fakes the handoff, throws out to the right. The ball caught by, guess who, Schneider again. He collects it in and is going to have it up for a first down to the 12-yard line for Eastmont. The ball continues to move down the field. They're going to say it's a 13. Pass play from Schwickendorf to Schneider is good for 8 yards. Down to the 13. Schwickendorf in the backfield along with Knighton. And they've got Porterfield as a slot back to the left, and we're going to flag down, or at least a whistle blows before the snap can be made. I don't see any flags down.
I don't.
Oh, yeah,
either.
there it is. It was on the soccer
Oh,
goal line there at the 10 or 13-yard line.
Camouflage.
Yeah, it was mixed in with the field there. So we're still waiting for an indication from the official, and it's offsides on the defense. So they lined up in the neutral zone. That'll be the 5th penalty against Davis on the night for 51 yards. And boy, when your team's struggling, you just hate to give up free yards like that.
Yeah, make it, bringing them just a little bit closer to your goal line there.
So it'll be first down after the penalty from the 8-yard line. Splitting out wide to the left for the Cats is Levi Watts. He'll be joined out there by Scaramazzino. Now they stack the eye behind Schwickendorf. The defense jumps in the neutral zone. We're going to get offsides on the defense again. Good hard count on that first go by Schwickendorf.
He got him again.
And that's going to give Eastmont a first down. At this point, from the 8, I think you go half the distance on a 5-yard penalty. It's to the 4. And that 6th penalty for 55 yards now on Davis in the ball game. Again, our officials from the Chelan County Football Officials Association, Dennis Brandstetter is the referee, Steve DeVilbus is the umpire, Jeff Graham, the lines judge, the field judge is Stephen Fromm, and Ben Harris is the back judge. And now whistles again before we could get this set. I think they're going to talk about where the ball should be spotted. I think the umpire who marks off the penalty went 5 yards, but from the 8, that should be half the distance instead of 5 yards. So it should be down to the 4-yard line. I'll get that corrected as far as the spot is concerned as the officials all gather around the middle of the field there. Meanwhile, Schwickendorf will come to the near sideline and talk to Coach Michael Don about maybe changing this play at the line of scrimmage. So that works basically as a nice respite and timeout for both clubs here. Davis trying to catch their wind after they made a stop, 3 and out, it appeared, but then they roughed the punter on a 4th down from Eastmont's 26, so the Wildcats would get it at the 41-yard line. And Schwickendorf on a big run took it down to the 25 on a 34-yard run. And it has been nothing but Eastmont since as they're trying to expand their lead here. 26-10 the score with 7:50 to go in this third quarter. Eastmont trying to score for the first time here in the second half. And we're going to have offensive movement here as Schwickendorf tried to get the center to snap it to him, but everybody else started moving. The center was on 2, everybody else was on 1.
Yeah, that hard count even got the Wildcats on that one.
So he's now against Eastmont for 30 yards in the ball game. Shuffling some bodies around up front. Chase Payne came to the near side. Now he comes back out there in the lineup for Eastmont. Offensively, Rain Browning, Brett Womack, Braden Johnson, Clayton Harris done a good job up front for Eastmont, blocking the way for Schwickendorf and company, who have that stack formation on a first down again. Handoff right side, and it's, who is it on the carry this time for the Cats? It's Tristan Martinez, who gets a carry down to just outside the 5, call it the 6. So, you know, that's interesting on that penalty. So you get half the distance against the defense, but it's a full 5 yards against the offense.
Right.
Always thought that was rather interesting. So second down coming up, second down for Eastmont after all the penalties we've had back and forth. Kind of lose track of the down there. Second down from the 6. Need to get to about the 3 for a first down. So call it second down and 3 for the Wildcats. I'll see if Schwickendorf tries to go to the air here. Nope, he'll hand it off to Martinez again. He's got not only the first down, he's got a touchdown, Eastmont. So Martinez with the 6-yard touchdown run. Coach Michael Don getting everybody into the act tonight. The 6'1", 210-pound senior crosses the goal line. And Eastmont now on top, 32-10 with the extra point to come.
And they burned some good time off the clock there, too.
Schneider will hold for Van Ash, who has a couple of field goals on the night, including a 40-yarder. This a 20-yard extra point attempt. It's on the way, and it is good. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with 6:37 to go here in the third. It's Eastmont on top of Davis, 32-10. You're watching, or 33-10, excuse me. You're watching Wildcat football on the NCW Life Channel. Eastmont helped out by the roughing the penalty against Davis, and they take the ball all the way 60 yards on the drive. Martinez with the touchdown. Extra point gives Eastmont a 33-10 lead. Ensuing kickoff taken by Prothesan at the 4, across the 10, 15, 20, and then out to the 25-yard line before he's knocked down there. Eastmont's defenders getting downfield. Dalton Harper helping out on the stop that time for the Wildcats. Also some help from Ferris Nassar. And it will be Davis football.
Good coverage on that that kick for Eastmont, too. They're going to make Davis go about 75 yards here.
6:29 to go in the third quarter. Davis with its first possession of the second half. So Eastmont eating up about half of, or a little more than half of that that third quarter with that drive. Martinez back to pass, throws out in the flat, the ball behind the intended receiver, spinning around Tyree Walker, trying to get a hand on it, but Peter Ramirez, the quarterback, threw it a little bit behind him as Davis now trailing on the scoreboard by a score of 33-10, so 23-point differential, Cody. They got to do something they're not comfortable doing, especially with a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, we talked about this at the break, but it does look like Davis is going to try and take some shots downfield, at least more than what we saw in that first half.
So Peter Ramirez filling in for the starter, Angel Amazola, and we looked as they came out of halftime, and I don't see number 18 on the sidelines at all for Davis. Back to pass again, rolling to his right. Martinez now flushed back to his left, now trying to scamper away from another man, tosses it downfield. The ball is caught across the 40 to the 42-yard line. What a catch there.
Yeah.
Falling down in traffic. Faven Bolin, he's been beaten up tonight, but boy, he makes a great grab there for Davis.
Boy, and you talk about a jump ball. That could have gone either way.
It looked like Devin Schneider was leaning in there and trying to race in for his third pickoff of the night and just couldn't quite get there in time, and somehow Bolin was able to hold on to it and come down for the big catch and a first down after a 16-yard pass play for Davis. So a little bit of confidence maybe in the sophomore here, Peter Ramirez. Back to pass again, rolls out to his right, has time, left-handed quarterback throws out the flat, the ball caught by Pastrana over there. Short gain on the play as he's quickly taken out of bounds by Ruben Petch.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, a pass like that, sometimes that's all it takes to help a quarterback get a little confidence, get their feet underneath them, and completed the second pass in a row here.
Petch, after chasing from sideline to sideline, a little bit gimpy here on the near side for Eastmont, wearing number 33, trying to catch his breath out there on what's turned out to be probably our chilliest night of football on a Friday we've had, or Saturday, if you will, this season. Second and call it 8 after a 2-yard gain on the pass play, and Davis taking a long time in the huddle to get out on this one. As the sophomore Ramirez, they talked to him at halftime and probably said, hey, we need to open up this playbook a little bit, and that took way too long, and so as a result, they have to take a timeout. So Davis burns one of their 3. They'll have 2 left for the rest of the second half, and when you're trying to come back and you use a timeout early, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, that could come back to mean something later in this game. 5 minutes left here in our third quarter, and down 23. It's going to be interesting to see if a lack of timeouts could become more of an issue for the Pirates.
Well, and for Coach Michael Don and Eastmont, he's just been looking around, and with the injuries that they've had this year with starters going out early and throughout the season and that kind of next man up mentality, they just haven't found the guys to do it. And Devin Schneider has certainly proven here tonight that the senior's apt to fill that role with 2 interceptions and a couple of touchdowns receiving for the Eastmont Wildcats, and now it's time for this defense to step up. You got that 23-point lead. Hold on to it, and don't let a sophomore quarterback let the opposition get back in the ball game. Second down from the 42 after the Davis timeout. Ball is to the right hash mark, and they turn, going to go with a reverse, and Pastrana across the 40, but there is Schneider, and the rest of the Wildcats. Stephen Lawless comes up and makes the stop of the play, and a loss of a yard to the 41, and a good job by Eastmont staying home.
good job with the pursuit. And when you've got more than one person going after that ball carrier, that's when you're going to get those stops. And in this case, I think they moved the ball back just a tad.
Yeah, loss of a yard on the play brings up 3rd down and 9, and what would seem another passing situation for the sophomore Peter Ramirez, the 5'10", 148-pound sophomore, getting thrown into a quarterback position here for Davis. Gets the snap from center, rolling out to his right. Left-handed quarterback stops, then cuts back, and then is going to be hit from behind and dropped on the play. Coming in and swooping in was Quentin Porterfield. Knocks him down, maybe back at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down for Davis.
Boy, you could hear the crowd get into that last hit there.
Well, he reversed his direction. Didn't see anybody open downfield. Of course, his height at 5'10" and his diminutive size at 148, you get that big offensive defensive line in front of you. It's tough to see. Ask Russell Wilson about that. Snap back to the punter, Jesus Alvarez, and a wobbly kick. Schneider's going to field it, then drop it. It's loose on the ground, and he dives back and covers it at the 31-yard line. And there's one of those if-and plays for Eastmont, and the Wildcat coaching staff happy that they got the ball back there.
Yeah, at least he covered it up. And, those are some of the mental mistakes that we've talked about with Eastmont in some of these games prior. But so far, they've got just the one turnover and doing a good job covering up some of these loose balls.
After the punt of 28 yards, Eastmont will have it at its own 31-yard line as we are quickly running out of time in this 3rd quarter of play. Second possession for the Wildcats here in the second half, as Nathan Schwickendorf will lead the offense again. Gets a snap from center, hands it off to Knighton. Knighton is spinning at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to be spun around like a top by the men in white and black hats, as Davis does a good job of converging, as it looked like a man whom you said might not be in the lineup here. I thought I saw number 80 out there. Did I see an 80? Maybe not. No, 82. Sorry
82,
for Davis
there. You go, yeah.
And that is Jonathan Villanueva. We've called his name a few times tonight.
Yeah.
As he is able to help with the pursuit there. Also big Sam Grover, that 325-pound senior at number 53, able to make the stop. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Eastmont. Again, that stacked I formation behind the quarterback, Schwinkendorf, hands it off to, he kept it himself, and maybe he should have handed it off as he is belted at the 30-yard line. Going to be a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, that's the thing with that option type of offense. You can break it for some big yards, but it does wear on your quarterback every now and then.
Christian Reyes, the 5'10", 226-pound senior, coming right up and belting the quarterback right as he crosses the line of scrimmage. They're going to say no gain officially on that one. So 3rd down and 10 for Eastmont from the 31. The clock continues to run here with just over 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter of play. Eastmont on top by a score of 33-10. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel tonight, along with Cody Johnson. I'm Eric Granstrom coming to you from Eastmont High School, where the Eastmont Wildcats will play the rest of their season right here at home, with Wenatchee coming in the Bridge of Sportsmanship next Friday night, a game you'll hear live right here and see on the NCW Life Channel. Schwickendorf pumps, now rolls to his left, has to get away from one man. He's not going to get away from the rest of the Pirates, though, as they trip him down after about a 4-yard gain to the 35. It'll be a punting situation for Eastmont.
Yeah, Davis doing a pretty good job with coverage downfield. Probably a wise move, just tucking that ball in and picking up a few yards.
Reyes with the stop. Now let's see if Manny Lopez can get a decent punt off. Last time Manny was out there on the field for Eastmont, turned out well for the Wildcats. Manny got thumped back there after he got the ball away on a fluttering pass from center that finally came down to a better snap this time. And the punt away, wobbly off the side of his foot and going to take a Davis bounce in Eastmont territory, and Davis picks it up.
Wow.
It was Pastrana who came up, and he thought maybe Eastmont would get a little lackadaisical there, as heads-up play by the return man for Davis, picked it up and was able to get some yardage out of it. Let's see where they put him down, though. I think they're going to say when he picked up the ball, his knee was down at about the 40-yard line of Eastmont, but only a 5-yard punt for Manny Lopez.
Yeah, they're going to have good field position here to start to start this next possession. And these are the kinds of things that you don't like to see when you got a lead like this. There's some minor mental mistakes. We talked about it at the half with the special teams and punting. Let's see if their defense here can step up and shut this Davis offense down.
First down from the Eastmont 40, handoff to Prothazon. Prothazon rolling to his right and rumbling forward, but nice job of coming up for Eastmont by Jordan Jessup, who's getting the start tonight. And Jessup's able to hold him to a 5-yard run. That looked like it might have a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Second down coming up from the 35 of Eastmont. We'll see if they get one more play in. Now they'll have to, because there's 28 on the game clock and 18 on the play clock.
Davis almost looking like they're starting to get a little momentum here.
Peter Ramirez, the quarterback, the sophomore, gets the snap, turns, hands it to Prothazon again, who cut back to his right. His blockers were to the left, and he still got 2 yards out of it. But he may have had a ton more with the wall he had to the left, but he cut it back to the right. And that is going to probably bring us to the end of this third quarter. It will. And so Eastmont, looking for its first win of the season, leads Davis 33-10. We'll be back with our final 8 minutes here at Eastmont High School. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Live Channel. So the Davis Pirates hope to get back into this one, trailing it by 23 as we start the fourth frame here at Eastmont High School. Big third down conversion, probably maybe 4-down territory for the Pirates. They turn and pitch it to Prothazon, cuts it back at the 35, spun by one man, keeps his legs churning and still alive, and then finally take it down inside the 30 to the 28, and a first down for Davis.
Boy, the Pirates are looking like they've got some momentum going here. They looked like they were whipped when they come back out for the third quarter, and they've got a new life now, it looks like.
Eastmont with the only score in the second half to lead at 33-10 here with just 15 seconds gone out of the fourth quarter. Splitting out wide to the left here is Jesus Alvarez for Davis. And the sophomore quarterback, Peter Ramirez, getting a little more confidence as they go. Back to pass again. Has time. Throws out the near side. The ball caught. And then out of bounds is Raven Bolin, the tight end, with the connection. Again, not a lot of yards, but a little more confidence for that sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, and he's stepping into his throws now, too.
They're going to put him down at the 23. So a gain of 5 yards brings up second down and 5 for the Pirates. And did he get out of bounds? He did, stopping the clock with 11:24 here left in the contest and regulation. Again, Eastmont on top, 33-10. Ramirez gets a snap, hands it off to Prothazon. Prothazon hit at the line, but then continues his momentum forward. He's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be a little bit short. They're going to put him down at the 19. He needed the 18 for a first down. That'll be a third down and 1 coming up. Gain of 4 yards for Vaughn Prothazon. Now there's a name for you.
Yeah.
If he's not a ball carrier in football, he should be some sort of an artist, painter. Sounds like a painter, Vaughn Prothazon. You'll see his collection soon at the Yakima Art Gallery. Eastmont hoping it's not a first down here that he can put on display. He's putting that on display and more as he spins through the defense of Eastmont, still churning his legs inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. That was a pretty play there.
Nice, yeah. That's going to move the chains again. Now they've got, they're going to start from inside the 10-yard line now.
First and goal for Davis from the 9. Eastmont defensive line hands on hips right now, usually indicating that breathing a little hard, chest is on fire, as those big offensive linemen for Davis continue to just lean on him and give more time for that sophomore quarterback. Peter Ramirez drops back, looks left, now looks right, now comes back to his left. He's going to be tackled for a loss on the play back at the 10-yard line. Eastmont getting in there was Chase Payne to stop him for a sack on the play at the 10.
Yeah, that young man better learn to grow some eyes in the back of his head.
It's a couple of times now that we've had hits from behind here as he's been scrambling around. Ramirez quickly out of the huddle, and that's what Davis' coaching staff likes to see, not to spend too much time back there calling the play. Has the snap from center, turn, Proth is on with the handoff, and kind of backing his way inside the 10 back to the original line of scrimmage, or close to it anyway. The official here on the near side maybe says no gain on the play. It'll be third down coming up from the 10-yard line, and Eastmont, after bending, doing a good job here in the last couple of plays.
Yeah, they certainly are.
9:26 clock runs here left in the fourth quarter, 33-10, Eastmont on top.
You know, at the very minimum, make it difficult for this Pirates team to score. Make them take more time off the clock. It will matter down the road.
Davis, last time they saw the scoreboard was a field goal back in the second quarter of play. Ramirez rolling to his right. He wants to keep it. He's got the 10, he's got the 5, and he's going to be stopped there. Good job of pursuit for Eastmont by Tristan Ramirez.
Nice job on third down there, and it's going to bring up a big decision. I would imagine that Pirates, they've got to be thinking about going for it here in the fourth.
I see 72 out on the field. That's their field goal kicker, Enrique Castro. So I guess at this point, if you're Davis, points. You want to get points. But right now, they got to have a guy to hold for the kicker.
That does help sometimes.
And Pastrano comes out. He was running from the sideline with his hands raised to the sky saying, this is what we're doing now. The high snap from center. Pastrano runs to his right, now pumps, now cuts back to his left, and he stepped out of bounds at the 7. That's going to be a turnover to Eastmont on downs.
Yeah, so they were going to go try and get 7 on the board there. Now, the only bad part is Eastmont is pinned way back, but this will give them a chance to take a long drive down the field and see if they can burn more time off the clock here in the fourth quarter.
8:47 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Eastmont with its third possession of the second half and can do a great job of wrapping up their first win of the season. And I talked to Coach Michael Don about that. How big would this be? He says it'd be like winning the Super Bowl for us at this point. It's been such a rough grind this season. Eastmont at 0-7 overall, 0-3 in Big 9 play. And they've been close. I mean, they played Moses Lake to a 12-7 contest and fell short on the road. Now it's a handoff, left side, and it is a hard pummeling tackle back there. And I think that was Knighton again on the carry for Eastmont, helped up by Davis after the play. Good job of sportsmanship being shown by the men up front.
You bet.
Raul Franco on the stop for the Pirates.
Well, you know who else is probably watching this game tonight, Eric, is
Wenatchee. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder. The Bridge of Sportsmanship live right here on the NCW Live channel next Friday night from Eastmont High School. We'll have the gang from Zeke Country doing the audio for you as they have the radio broadcast. And be sure to listen and watch that right here on the NCW Live channel next Friday night. Second down coming up for Eastmont from the 9, and a little delay handoff to Knighton dancing around. Boy, the sophomore showing some good moves across the 15 out to the 20-yard line. And heads up running with a good view of the field.
Yeah.
And he's got a first down for Eastmont.
Yeah, quick feet.
And that gets you out of the shadow of your own goal line, out to the 20.
I know this from my experience. When you're small and not very fast, at least you can be quick.
That's like you saying you don't sweat much for a overweight guy. All right, that's my line. First down from the 20 for Eastmont, and a snap back to Schwickendorf, and he's going to keep it himself after a fake on the handoff. And boy, the way he was pummeled down on the play, thinks maybe I should have handed that ball off. Second down and 10 coming up from the 20 for the Wildcats as the clock continues to run here with 7:20 to go in this fourth quarter. 33-10, Eastmont on top. Schwickendorf comes over towards the near sideline to get the play from his coaching staff, and now looks at his wristband to relay it to the rest of his club. Chilly nights here on this next to the last Friday of October. It just seems strange to be talking about that. Or I keep saying Friday. It's a Saturday night. Rolling to his right, Schwickendorf going to throw deep downfield, has Scarmazino, catches it at the 48. He has got one man to beat. He's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line, and maybe a horse collar could have been called as Scarmazino says he reaches up, grabs the back of his shirt and says, hey, where's the flag on top of it? But it's a big pass play for Eastmont on the connection down to the Davis 30-yard line.
You know, Schwickendorf, he had a man open about 15 yards downfield. There was no way he was going short with that pass. I mean, he had a wide receiver. He was wide open downfield like that, and I would have done the same thing. But, you know, that's a good mentality to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. 50 yards on that pass play, by the way, to the Davis 30, first down and 10. I formation behind the pistol shotgun formation to Schwickendorf, hands it off to the running back, Jack Knighton. We got a flag down on the far side. Looks like a holding penalty possibly coming. We have had a couple of face masks against Davis here tonight, but that looked awfully like a holding call on the far side over there. So we'll hold off to
I think
see
it could be
what's
right.
going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
about
it's
a 4-yard gain, and Dennis Brandstetter, our head referee, gives us a signal and says, yes, that is a hold against the offense. So another penalty against Eastmont. And other than a short punt, one interception, and a couple of penalties here and there, you know, it's
pretty clean.
Good night for the Eastmont all the way around.
Yeah.
So it'll be first down over again for the Wildcats after the penalty.
Yeah, Coach Don should be pretty happy right now.
They'll put it out to the 37, and again, in high school football, it's a spot foul. And so from the flag, they mark it back 10 yards. It'll be first down over again. Schneider splits out wide to the right. He had a great first half, been kind of quiet here in the second half so far. Schwickendorf with a couple of backs, including Jack Knighton, the tail of the eye. They're going to turn and hand it to him. Nope, Schwickendorf kept it. Boy, he hands that ball on that fake so deep, and he's finally scampered after and tracked down at the 37, so no gain on the play. It'll bring up second down from there for Eastmont.
Yeah, he does such a good job with that fake. You know, to make things fair, they should probably hang a bell on him or something.
Yeah, especially, or some sort of beeping device that the ball connects to his helmet, and if he still has it, the defense is saying, like how in the world?
Yeah, defensive ends in this league, they probably don't like him very much.
No, and you can't prepare for that watching film either, because he just, that ball fake, he holds it so long into the running back's breadbasket. Second down and long for Eastmont here. This time he will hand it off to the breadbasket of Knighton. Knighton cuts back at the 30 and then caught from behind and tossed down at the 25. Chasing on the play was Christian Reyes. Boy, he's had a busy night here for Davis. And a decent gain on that play, going to bring up third and manageable for Eastmont. 3rd and 5 from the 25.
Yeah, Knighton doing a really good job running the ball here tonight.
12 yards on that running play.
Yeah. A strong runner, and again, just a sophomore.
Good vision of the field and some patience to wait for blocks to materialize in front of him. Third down coming up for the 25-yard line, and again, that clock continues to run with 4:57 to go, and unless there's some sort of miracle by the Davis Pirates, it looks like that check might finally come for Eastmont in the win column here tonight. Fake the handoff, throw out the flat to Schneider. Schneider's got enough for a first down as he collects it in at the 17-yard line.
Another nice pass. Nice play fake and toss downfield.
8 yards on the pass play from Schwickendorf to Schneider. To the 17. That nose guard, Sam Grover, hands on hips here. It's been a long night for that 325-pounder. But a good job by the Eastmont offensive line here.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout this one. Snap back to Schwickendorf. Hand off to Knighton. And Knighton this time, just of course as I compliment the offensive line, Davis looked like they were in the huddle and knew the snap count. Christian Reyes comes through and makes a tackle for a loss on the play.
We got to really stop saying good things about Eastmont. It's not.
Every time we do, the poor kids get just swamped back there. 23-yard line is where the ball rests, so a loss of 6 yards on the play. But again, Schwickendorf and company just wanting to let that time continue to wind down here in front of this partial sellout,
Yeah.
as we call it, in Eastmont tonight. But the crowd going to enjoy this one, and so too will the Wildcats. Well-deserved. Defending the home field here. Been so close so many times, and finally going to get a timeout taken by Eastmont with 3:40 to go in the contest. 33-10 is our score. And with the timeout, Coach Michael Don will come out on the field. Meanwhile, Davis's defense goes over to the far sideline and gets a little refreshment squirt from a jug of water on a second down coming up for Eastmont after the loss on that first down play.
Wildcats doing a good job managing the second half. They've only put up 7 points, but they haven't needed to put up anything else. And the big thing is that there's, limit your turnovers. Don't make it easy for Davis to get back in the game. And, that's all you really want to see.
Well, as we look ahead towards next Friday night in that Bridge of Sportsmanship, you've got some big play capabilities between Schwickendorf and Schneider on the Eastmont side offensively, and Alvarez for Wenatchee is just one of the most talented backs I've seen in the Big Nine in a long time.
Well, he had a nice run last week.
Both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. He's a guy that can certainly make things happen. Last week, over 200 yards combined offense with, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, including what proved to be leading to the game winner.
The big one
for Wenatchee in the overtime win over Davis last week. And now Eastmont trying to match suit here as they snap to Schwickendorf, hand off to Knighton, short gain over the right side, maybe back to the line of scrimmage in a yard is all that he will get on that particular play. Jorge Martinez on the stop for Davis. It'll be a 3rd and long coming up for Eastmont from the 22, a gain of just a yard. But hard running and a good job tonight by the sophomore getting the start at tailback for Eastmont. Jack Knighton comes out, gets a high five from the near sideline. I don't know if he's done for the night, but he did a great job coming in, and with the injuries that have plagued Eastmont here offensively, defensively throughout the season.
5 of them.
Sophomore getting in there tonight and doing a great job for Eastmont, just moving the ball forward and not making the mistakes. We're going to get a delay a game against Eastmont, so that'll stop the clock with 2:53 to go here in the contest.
Be interesting. Both of these teams are starting a lot of younger players, especially at the skill positions. You got to think in the next year or two, these teams might be up toward the top of the standings.
And that's a conversation I had with Michael Don this week. I said, well, one good thing about you try to, point out the positive as much as you can. With all of the time that these youngsters are getting, it does bode well for the future. But, don't tell the seniors that.
Yeah.
So a 3rd down and long coming up for Eastmont from the 27-yard line. Schwenkendorf will see if he tries to go to the end zone one more time. Looks left, throws left. The ball is caught by Scaramazino here on the near side, and he's taken out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. A couple of Pirates converge over here near side. Fothazon, I should say.
You do a good job at those names.
Thank you.
I got to give you credit there.
It's been a challenge. So from the 25, Eastmont's going to go for a field goal here. Keep the Vegas odds makers happy.
Yeah.
This will be a 42-yard field goal. Now, Van Ash has a 40-yarder on the night. And the spot down, kick away, and it has the distance. It is good! How about Jake Van Ash with a 42-yard field goal?
And 2 inches to spare on that kick.
Yeah. It had the height. We just didn't know if it would have the leg. And it does. We'll take a 60-second break, come back. 2:16 to go in this one. Eastmont's going to get their first victory of the season, leading Davis 36-10. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Life Channel. Ash with a long kickoff that sails into the end zone, and it will be Davis football as the Eastmont Wildcats have extended the lead to 36-10 thanks to a 42-yard field goal by Jake Van Ash that capped a 12-play 68-yard drive that stalled at the Davis 25-yard line, but we talked about that. You make a play defensively, you turn away Davis, what looked like they were trying to gain a little momentum at the time. You get the ball back with 8:47 to go in the contest, and here you need a drive that'll eat up some clock, eat up some yardage, and Eastmont does that, and they get points out of it.
And you're right. On top of it, another 3 points. That is how you put the game away.
So Davis back on offense here with 2:16 to go, trailing at 36-10. Handoff to Fathajan as he takes it around the left side across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 7 yards by the running back for Davis, who again, Fathajan has been about the only offense they've had. They've had a couple of pass completions by the sophomore quarterback, but that's about it. He's back to pass again, going to heave it deep down the far sideline, overthrown the intended receiver. Looked like it was Pastrana out there on the intended front, or was it? It was actually Corey Alt, the intended receiver. But again, there's 89, who seems like he's been all over the field tonight. Schneider for Eastmont.
It was hard to see who was the wide receiver was over there because he was covered in red.
He was, definitely. Like a spread of strawberry preserves on that loaf of bread that we're talking about here tonight.
Good coverage downfield for the Wildcats.
3rd down and short for Davis. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:49 left in regulation. Back to pass is Ramirez. Throws out to the left. The ball caught, and it's good enough for a 1st down. So then they'll stop the clock momentarily while they reset the chains. And coming up with a grab was Jesus Alvarez. 1st down for Davis out to the 34-yard line. So a gain of 7 yards on that pass play. Need a lot more than that from Peter Ramirez as they shift receivers to either side. Ramirez low snap, back to pass, throws out to the flat on the left. The ball caught out there by Alt, and Alt came back into the field of play instead of going out of bounds. Eastmont doing a good job converging over there. Defensively, it was Angelo Gilmore helping on the stop. It'll be 2nd down for Davis.
And I think Davis just took a timeout.
Gain of 4 yards and a timeout for the Pirates, so they only have 1 left on my count. With 1:25 to go. And if you're Coach Rick Clark, coming home to where he grew up and went to school, graduate of East Wenatchee, it's a situation where you give a sophomore quarterback more time to run your offense. The end of the result of the game is pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point, but let's try to do what we can to get a little more time behind the wheel, if you will, for this sophomore Peter Ramirez.
Yeah, and they are letting him take a couple shots downfield too. Not surprisingly, but he, that's what a young quarterback needs. You need to have that confidence from your coaches to be able to do something like that.
Emilio Gonzalez splits out wide to the left here. Ramirez gets a snap from center, throws out, and almost picked off over there. And that was the tight end coming up with the grab, Raven Bolin. And Bolin somehow has come up with a couple of grabs tonight that looked like they would surely be interceptions.
I thought that was an interception too. I almost said touchdown until Davis took it the other way. So I'm sure that's what they were thinking too.
I believe for Eastmont, over there defensively stepping in front was Angelo Gilmore, who just flashed right in front of that ball as it came down in the hands of the receiver. 1st and 10 from the 45 for Davis. Snap back, look right, throw right, and the ball caught over here on the near side. Gain of about 5 yards out to midfield on the pass completion to Jesus Alvarez. Covering for Eastmont here near side was Isaac Reyes. And again, we'll try to get some of these names and numbers out there for Eastmont as they've gone with a lot of backup role players for the Wildcats, looking at their 1st win of the season.
Yeah, getting down to almost a minute now. I think you can go ahead and check that off in the win column.
2nd down from midfield for Davis. Peter Ramirez at quarterback. Looking left, going to heave it deep downfield, and everybody fell down, and they're going to throw a penalty flag on that. And I don't know if they're going to throw it offensively because the receiver stumbled, Emilio Gonzalez, and then he fell into the defensive player. And they both went crashing down, and we'll see if the official on the far sideline kind of talks him out of that flag.
I'm wondering if they might pick that up too.
Nope, they're going to say defensive pass interference.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no love for.
Oh my goodness.
No love for the
back judge on that?
former East Wenatchee head coach Rick Clark.
So they are going to say defensive pass interference on which looked to me like it was just accidental, incidental contact. The offensive player, Emilio Gonzalez, fell down into the defender who was running stride for stride with him. And the official, I think, looked over to where the bodies were laying and says, well, there's got to be a flag there somewhere.
Yeah, you've still got that official's eye, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. 60 yards and penalties for Eastmont on the night. This pass out in the flat is caught over there and then dancing around and then finally getting out of bounds on the far sideline is Gizmaro Mendoza. And for Rick Clark, that 5'7" junior is got some moves.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Not bad at all.
So the pass interference penalty moved it to the 35, and after that pass play, it'll be second down from the 27-yard line. So a gain of 7-8 yards on that first down play. Brings up 2nd and 2, out of bounds with 56 seconds left in the contest. Mendoza splits out wide to the left here for Ramirez. Eastmont cheating up defensively, and good job and good time. Ramirez is going to take it himself, though, around the left side, and the sophomore runs out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, picks up another Davis first down. Gain of 7 yards for Peter Ramirez.
And they're getting out of bounds, so.
Stops the clock with 47.9 seconds left. Appreciate you joining us here tonight on NCW Life Channel TV. Along with Cody Johnson, Eric Grandstrom, as we wind this one down. Thanks again to our executive producer, Dan Kuntz. Studio coordinator and engineer is Chris Williams. Replay is Rachel Sullivan. On cameras, Tucker Wagner and Logan Pratt. Davis back to pass, looking left. Ramirez running out of time. Now he scampers left, throws. The ball is caught over there at the 9, and then spinning out of bounds is Tyree Walker. So Davis trying to do something here before the end of the contest with 39 ticks left on the clock. It will be a first down for Davis from the 8-yard line. First and goal after the 12-yard pass play. Again, we'll be bringing you more football next Friday right here on the NCW Life Channel. The bridge of sportsmanship between Wenatchee and Eastmont from Eastmont High School. Join us for the action next Friday night at 7 o'clock right here on the NCW Life Channel. Snap back to Ramirez. Trying to find the end zone. Throws out in the flat, a little bit too high for the intended receiver, Alvarez. And it will be an incomplete pass. And second and goal with 34 seconds left in the game. Eastmont's coverage over there by Will Adams, drawing the clap from a few family members who are here in the stands. Let's see, who else do we see out there? Victor Welton is in there defensively for Eastmont, as is Landon McClune, who's been out there quite a bit tonight. Davis trying to find the end zone one more time. Second and goal. Back to pass Ramirez. Looks over the middle, throws over the middle. The ball incomplete, and a big hit at the goal line there. Laid on by Eastmont as Jordan Jessup says, hello.
That's got to be the hit of the game right there.
Third down and goal from the 8.
I'm sure the crew back in the studio are rewinding that one for you folks at home.
Gizmaro Mendoza, I believe, was the intended receiver there, and I'm surprised he was able to get up after that shot to the gums. He lines up wide to the right here. Snap back, handoff to Prothazon, spins away from one man, trying to get around the corner. He does to the 5 and into the end zone, and a touchdown for Davis with 20.6 seconds left in the contest. So Prothazon does find the end zone tonight, and believe it or not, I think that's only his second rushing touchdown of the season. For as many yards as he's put up, hasn't found the end zone very many times, and that was the coach Rick Clark talked about. They get in the red zone, but just can't find the end zone.
Yeah, and only 2 times this year they've been able to put up double-digit points.
Averaging 9 points a game coming into this one through 7. And they've got 16 on the board, going to try to make it 18 with a 2-point conversion. Snap is back to Ramirez, throws out to the near side. The ball is caught, and a 2-point conversion attempt is completed to Raven Bolin. And it is now a 36-18 contest. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. You're watching Eastmont football on the NCW Life Channel. Eastmont on top of the scoreboard by a score of 36-18. The drive, pretty impressive there actually by the Davis Pirates. 80 yards on the drive, a touchdown by Prothazon on the run. The two-point conversion from Ramirez to Bolin, and now an onside kick attempt. And coming in front of the 10-yard boundary was an Eastmont Wildcats, and that, I believe, should be a penalty against Eastmont. Or they're going to say maybe he touched it at the 50 and fell forward. Recovering the ball on the onside kick was J.R. Alvarez. I don't know, Cody, that was awfully close.
It was. That was pretty close. But, I'm impressed that he was able to dive through there and hang on to the ball.
First down from the 48 for Eastmont, so you'd think a couple of kneel downs here with 18 seconds left.
That should do it.
And the Wildcats will secure their first victory of the season, and this will be fun to watch what the Eastmont sidelines do after the final ticks on the clock run out.
Yeah, and the crowd too. I think they've been waiting for this one.
They certainly have. It's been close, but not quite all season for Eastmont. And now the Wildcats will line up in a protection victory formation here as Schwenkendorf will take a snap, take a kneel down at the 50-yard line. The two teams and two combatants will congratulate each other on a good night of football on this Saturday night, and it will go in the way of the Eastmont Wildcats. Well, we'll tell our producers back in the studio to get ready for that close, because we'll just keep it here and wrap it up after the Eastmont Wildcats get the victory here. First win of the season for Eastmont. They're 1-7 overall, 1-3 in Big Nine play. And Cody, you knew it would have to happen eventually.
Yeah. And you know what? You knew it was going to be tonight, honestly, because they've got the Panthers coming in next week, and that's just the way it is. I mean,
well, and we talked about this during, I think, one of the commercial breaks, is, what a perfect time for Eastmont to do something and have a positive night on all three phases of the game, just in time for that matchup with Wenatchee next Friday.
A lot of good things went right for Eastmont, but beyond that, they seem like they've corrected a lot of things that have been troubling them in these past games, and boy, it sure does make the matchup coming up next Friday night pretty interesting, doesn't it?
It certainly does. 7 o'clock, you'll see that right here on the NCW Life Channel. Again, the Eastmont Wildcats, a great night for Devin Schneider, who gets 2 interceptions, 2 touchdown receptions. If we had a player of the game, I think Devin Schneider would be the kid here tonight for the Eastmont Wildcats.
The Make a Difference Day.
Yeah, the Make a Difference Day, making a difference here on the field, too. Devin Schneider here for the Eastmont Wildcats. They get their first victory of the season, so congratulations to Coach Michael Don and the rest of the coaching staff and to the Eastmont fans and parents. It's been a long time coming, I know, and it's been one of those frustrating seasons, but no more do you have to think about that goose egg on the win column, because they get it here tonight. 36-18, the final score. Again, Cody, thanks again for doing the game with me tonight. I have a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
Cody Johnson is the man who's been to my left all night long, and we'll do some more football down the road, that's for sure, and some other sports right here on the NCW Life Channel.
You should do some bowling with me sometime.
I'm known
for my bowling broadcast around here. I am so looking. Do
you have to whisper? Is that?
You try to. You try to. It's exciting stuff. I mean, you don't know.
Well, once again, thanks to our executive producer of NCW Life Channel Sports, Dan Coots, our studio coordinator and engineer, Chris Williams. On replay tonight, Rachel Sullivan. On our cameras, doing a great job, Tucker Wagner and Logan Pratt. And again, for Cody Johnson, I'm Eric Grandstrom. Thanks again for joining us. Again, our final score tonight, Eastmont victorious for the first time this season, downing Davis 36-18. You've been watching Eastmont football on the NCW Life Channel.